back to the Great Show. I am your host, Lieutenant Rebecca Frost. And on alert, as always, Carrie Jackson. Hello.
We have this message from our list of demand.
It is useless to resist us. We will level your planet and take what we want. That is destruction. You will die as a race. We will not argue. Close communications. Turn faces off.
All right.
We have one demand.
One demand.
And it's that you listen to this show. This week, some interesting episodes we're talking about in season 2. This week we're going to be talking about Friday's Child, The Deadly Years, Obsession, Wolf in the Fold, and The Trouble with Tribbles.
One great episode there.
Well, okay. Yeah,
right.
I don't know if I would say just one great episode.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
But okay, well, yeah. So our first episode, Friday's Child, the Federation clashes with the Klingon Empire over mining rights to Capella 4. A sudden coup between its warrior-minded inhabitants forces Kirk's party to flee with the now dead leader's pregnant wife.
Fun.
I was bored. Minute 1, I was bored.
Really?
With this episode. Yeah.
Okay.
I could not get into it. I tried so hard. And
it was a McCoy heavy episode, and we've been wanting a McCoy heavy episode.
It was a McCoy heavy episode. Like, what is there even to say? Like, because the Klingons and the Federation are talking about trying to get mining rights for this whatever it is. And then, much like within the Klingon Empire, or in the Mirror universe, in order to ascend to a new rank, you must assassinate the person above you.
Well, that's in this this civilization, this tribe. That's how they advance.
The Capella tribe.
Yeah, they're just as Klingon as Klingons are, and so that's why the Capellans kind of admire the Klingons. Klingons admire the Capellans. The conceit, though, that McCoy was placed there for a while, and so he was familiar with how things are done on Capella, was kind of lost on me.
Big shrug from me. Like, the entire plot and lore world building of this episode totally lost on me, honestly. I couldn't care about any of it. The only part that I found myself absolutely caring about was our friend Julie Newmar.
Yeah.
Who I did not realize that was Julie Newmar right out the gate. And her whole deal of, I don't want child. Please, I do not want child. And McCoy being like, no, you have child. And she's like, oh, no, thank you. And I'm like, respect the woman's wishes, McCoy. Not all women want children.
Well, she didn't want the kid because it would
be like property of the tier in charge, like the head tier or whatever.
And the head tier was killed because she was the tier's woman. Mm-hmm. I love all of these very progressive ways of putting this.
Women as property. I love it.
But the tier was killed, and she didn't want to be with the guy who was going to be named or would eventually be tier.
The guy who took over.
Yeah,
I mean, did you see his outfit?
Well, yeah, all their outfits, really.
All of their just
pretty impractical for a warlike bunch of people. But yeah, so she didn't want to be with that guy, so she was not only rejecting him, but rejecting the baby and rejecting everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also the Klingon that is there. I love that they have definitely. They pick and choose which episodes to make the Klingon look like Klingon. And this was one of those episodes where they were like, here's just a guy. No makeup. You can tell he's a Klingon because he's got a beard and the outfit, and that's it.
And that's it. And he's the balding Klingon. He's
yeah.
losing his hair. My favorite part of that Klingon, I can't even remember his name. That's how forgettable
so
he
boring,
is.
So dull.
It was his scream when he gets stabbed or shot. It's the same scream each time.
Just 80 yard.
Just kind of like that.
Yeah, I do. You mentioned this is a McCoy heavy episode. I do like a lot of the McCoy moments in here where there's a moment where he's like, I called that Klingon a liar, and then acts so proud of himself,
Yeah.
demanding to fix the woman's arm that is hurt.
Even though
Just like being
she don't
so
want any help. Yep.
he's so assertive and aggressive about it. And truthfully, I wish more doctors today were like that, but what are you gonna do?
It's a
Oh,
show.
except in the fact where she is like, do not touch, because they're very adamant, like, do not touch, like, do not touch, do not touch. And McCoy's like, I must touch. In order to fix, I must touch. And they have escaped and they're out in the wilds, right? And he's trying to work on her and she keeps hitting him and he finally hits back. So, just the loop of her slapping him and then him slapping her has been on repeat in my mind for 2 days.
Oh,
And Andrew was watching it with me. He's like, did he just slap that woman?
the days of malpractice are over. Apparently, in the future, it's a
Oh my God. Well, it takes me back to Kirk saying there's no right way to hit a woman, you know?
exactly.
But then also,
Well, she was
Kirk-
being hysterical. I had to do something.
God. And
Yeah.
a hysterical woman. But
Yeah.
then Kirk is also like trying to help McCoy, and McCoy says the last thing I need is a ham-fisted cap or a ham-handed ship's captain. And I have a note that's like, McCoy, are you okay? Like, are you mad because you've been hit a couple of times? Because
He's
also
in-
later
He's in doctor mode. He can't think of anything else.
because later he's like napping after she has the baby and she grabs a rock and hits him with it to knock him out. And I'm like, girl, he was already asleep. You could have just left. He
Snuck
was
out.
not gonna wake up.
Snuck right out. Yep.
And definitely, and she left without the baby too. Like, I get it, girl. And then
what was it he made her keep saying over and over?
The child is mine.
The
and
child
then
is mine.
And she's like, McCoy. The subtitles say McCoy, which was very funny to me. But she's like, the child is yours. And he's like, oh, no, you misunderstand me.
I'm trying to get you to take ownership. It's not mine, it's yours. That's why I should have used a different word. I'm sorry.
Well, and then like the head TR is like, I don't want, yeah, you're free to go. And she's like, okay. And McCoy comes out with the baby. She's like, I guess I'll keep the baby, which has been named Leonard James, whatever her last name was. Newmar. Leonard James Newmar.
We'll call her Newmar.
And Spock is like, wow, you two are going to be so insufferable about this for a couple of days, aren't you? And they are like, yes.
And they looked at each other and said, yes, Spock, for at least 3 episodes, we're going to be insufferable.
One of the closing lines, because the only way to communicate with the baby is through its language, uchi wuchi kuchiku. And Spock goes, uchi wuchi kuchiku, Captain? As if he just doesn't understand. Yeah, this just a boring episode, a nonsensical plot with eccentric costumes. I don't.
Shot on the cheap out in the foothills of somewhere in California.
It's the Vasquez Rocks filming location, where also the setting for Arena, Shore Leave, and the Alternative Factor, where temperatures reached 110 degrees during filming.
Of course, let's go there.
And the actors playing the Capellan warriors were given elevated shoes to make them appear like giants, and the high headgear also served the same purpose.
Because they're supposed to be like 10 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah. The Capel. I was disappointed. No a cappella song renditions of anything because they are the Capellan tribe.
You're just spoiled by the musical episode, aren't you?
It has been. We haven't even talked about the musical episode on this show.
Not on this show, no.
Strange New Worlds, Subspace Rhapsody. I have been blasting this in my car. Uhura's Keep Us Connected. I can't match the notes that she hits, but
she's
boy,
great.
Am I trying.
And
I only do it when
singing,
I'm alone.
she's great too.
Yeah, well, she's professional.
Mm-hmm.
So just every time I listen to Keep Us Connected, I get goosebumps and I want to sob. I
Ah.
just the song hits me so hard. Um but another episode that doesn't hit quite as hard as Uhura's
No.
song, The
No.
Deadly Years, an episode. Where to even begin? This is the episode where they go and visit M. Night Shyamalan's Beach That Makes You Old, okay?
Yes. Exactly. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. They go to visit this scientist, Robert Johnson, the most obscure white person name in the year 2200, whatever. And they get there and they're like, no, Robert Johnson's 37. And this guy is like 108 or something. And uh-oh, everyone's turning old.
See, now I was excited when they said Robert Johnson because I was expecting a visit from the legendary blues artist, but
Not quite.
not quite.
This episode, I've dubbed it the episode where they go to M. Night Shyamalan's Beach That Makes You Old, but also the high school theater old age makeup episode.
It's the improv class is now you're old. Yeah.
It took me back to when I was in high school and they were doing The Crucible, which I did not get cast in, by the way.
You didn't. Oh.
I did. Well, so here's why. This is a tangent. I didn't get cast in The Crucible because my theater teacher knew I was great at comedy. And so what they did was they set up a second play production in a black box. And me and my best friend were the Odd Couple, the female version of the Odd Couple.
I did the Odd
Yeah.
Couple in high school too. Yeah.
Which one were you?
I was Oscar.
I was whichever one's the clean one.
Felix.
Felix, yeah.
Or to be
The
Felicia,
but the
I
lady
guess.
version. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even remember the name. But yeah, I was so funny that they made sure to cast a whole separate play. They didn't do this in the past. They only did one play production every year. But anyway, watched this episode with Andrew also, who he has a complicated relationship with family members having Alzheimer's. And
Oh, okay.
we watched this episode like this the whole time. 'Cause it was so hard to watch.
So they beam down to the planet and they encounter
Mhm.
this old couple, Robert Johnson and his wife.
Yeah.
And they say, and they're this ancient couple, and this is but Robert Johnson, I'm 37, and my wife Elena is I'm 38 or something like that,
And
it's
just
little
decrepit.
ancient decrepit Yoda like old people, and so then they beam back to the to the ship, and began to notice that all the members of the landing party are getting old
Except Chekhov.
Chekhov. Why Chekhov?
I never quite understood why Chekhov wasn't aging. Because he went into a separate building.
Mm-hmm. Well, because he saw the dead body and he got scared.
Oh, and he got scared. Okay.
And did his Chekhov scream that I've told you to listen for.
Yeah.
And Captain, but because of the adrenaline that flowed through his body,
Yes.
it didn't affect him. Everyone
Okay.
else was calm, cool, and collected, So this adrenaline rush is what got him and made it. And we find out toward the end of the episode that it's the adrenaline that's made it so that you didn't get the disease that made you age quickly. But poor Chekhov gets tested for everything
Oh,
for
and
a
he's
half
mad
an
about
hour.
it.
And
He's big mad
pissed.
about it.
How about some
I
blood, Chekhov?
love looking at Chekhov at the helm, and he is just like so grumpy. I mean, I don't blame him. I would be too.
No, I would be more blood, Chekhov. How
The,
about another skin sample, Chekhov?
Chekhov, he's growing up. This span of episodes that we're talking about, Chekhov and Scotty both really growing on me as characters. It's just because Chekhov, he's always horny and he's always irritated whenever he has to be involved in stuff.
Oh, I can't wait for the Old West episode coming up for you and Chekhov. I can't
Oh
wait.
no.
Oh, it's on the way.
Oh no. But yeah, just everyone in high school, old age person makeup,
Hmm.
slowly,
And it's
and
and the makeup that they're using is essentially what you would have used in your high school,
yeah, oh
to
yeah.
age you up.
What I love, this episode does establish Kirk as 34 years old.
Hmm.
Whatever, who cares? And we have previously established that McCoy also 34 years old. Why does McCoy look so much worse than Kirk
That's hard
as he
living.
gets older?
That's hard living McCoy, man. He's the
Every every time McCoy would come on screen, Andrew and I would go, ah! It's just a startling sight to see because he looks hideous.
McCoy is the poster boy for, you know, Old Crow wild turkey liquor,
Living hard and being put away wet, you know?
Indeed, he has stomped on the Terra, which is one of the reasons I admire McCoy.
Oh God. And Spock aging slower because Vulcans have a much longer lifespan than humans. So
Hmm.
so McCoy or Leonard Nimoy didn't really have that much makeup put on him. He got
Just a little bit
some
of
gray
gray.
put on his hair, but that's about it. Um
The
yeah,
temperature in my cabin is increasingly cold. I have risen the temperature to 120 degrees. And then McCoy's
yeah.
suddenly appearing and disappearing Southern accent shows up.
Oh
There,
yeah.
remind me not to make a house call on you. I'm Foghorn Leghorn, Dr. McCoy.
Andrew did point that out. He was like, "Why is he like? Why is this coming out with his old age?"
He's from the South,
Hmm.
allegedly. He's as he always says, I'm just an old country doctor, which okay. And he does occasionally slip in. You remember the previous episode where he's trying to make a mint
Hmm.
julep? He slip into that
He
Southern accent.
goes
Yeah,
hard Georgian. Hmm.
it's an interesting choice for an actor. I don't know why he did it, but there you go. Anyway.
Yeah, of all the places in the future to be from, Georgia. Uh, when they do come to the conclusion that what they need is adrenaline, my first thought was put them on that euthanasia roller coaster. I don't know if you've seen that euthanasia roller coaster. It's a roller coaster that was designed by someone. It will kill you. And
Hmm.
so it starts out super high and then is a series of loop-de-loops that get progressively smaller, but it's designed to humanely kill somebody. And my first thought was just put them on that roller coaster, I guess.
Oh, but you get your favorite thing though. You get Shatner overacting in this one
I did
because
get it was tough though because
he's doing his old man fingers, his Lewis Black fingers. It's like when Lewis Black points. We're in orbit around Gamma Alpha 2, aren't we?
why do you question my commands and I love Shatner overacting. This one was roof stoof because watching him fall into the hands of Alzheimer's and
Hmm.
dementia, like,
Mean,
what a metaphor for Congress today.
Meanwhile, up on the bridge, we've got this, Starfleet,
This guy,
this
paper
business type.
pusher.
Yeah, this
Hmm.
bureaucrat or whatever he is, who's been placed in charge because all the senior officers are affected by this whole thing. But let's
I
not
was
let's not forget what we learned last episode, which is Uhura is perfectly qualified.
I was yelling at Andrew. I'm like, you don't understand. This guy shouldn't even be here. Uhura is fourth in line in command. She should be in charge. But
Well,
no, NBC doesn't want a woman in charge. And he was
was
like,
he a
well, yeah.
was he a Commodore though? Was that his
He
rank?
was a Commodore. Yeah.
How, they just pass those out to anybody? Because
I
boy, when
guess.
when the shit started hitting the fan, where was he? Just sitting there going, I don't know
He
what to do.
froze. Listen,
Yeah.
I get it though. There's fight, flight, or freeze, and I'm a freezer, and so I understand where he was coming from and his non-actions when
But
when they were being attacked.
but take away his Commodore stripes after that shit, man. Take him away.
especially, especially after the next episode, which we'll talk about in just a second. But also, this episode ends with Kirk doing the exact same Corbomite maneuver that he did in that episode, the Corbomite maneuver.
That's his signature move.
It, hey, if it ain't broke.
Exactly.
The next episode I would love to talk about, called Obsession. or as I have nicknamed it, brooding in the bedrooms, because there is a lot of brooding in bedrooms happening.
They tried to get us some, real character study stuff happening in this episode, and I just didn't. I actively hate this episode.
How interesting, because you say they did try to do some character study stuff in this episode.
Hmm.
I loved it.
Oh, really?
It was a
Okay.
pretty weak attempt, I will admit. Pretty weak attempt at some character stuff.
Walk me
But
through. Walk me through.
well, so the bad guy again is a cloud. This time the cloud is sparkly. But also Strange New Worlds connections here, because this fun cloud is the cloud that destroyed the USS Farragut, where a young James T. Kirk was also stationed, as well as a young Nurse Chapel, but they don't even talk about that in this episode.
Oh, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
then that means that at the end of Strange New Worlds, because she was looking at the Cordry thing, remember?
Hmm.
Is she going to be like in season 3 if they ever start making shows again? Does that mean that season 3 she'll be off the Enterprise?
Right. I was I was thinking about that too. I'm kind of hoping they do like a, when the show returns, like, oh, I did my 3 months with my fellowship and it was so much fun and I'm back and here's all the stuff I learned.
Oh, okay.
And now I have this boyfriend, Dr. Caudry. But we'll see.
And then the Farragut can get destroyed, and Kirk
Well, the
can
Farragut's
yeah.
already been destroyed,
In
because
Strange New
there's
Worlds.
in Strange New Worlds, because
Okay,
there's Nurse Chapel wears a pin commemorating it.
that's
I
right. Okay.
Don't worry, I had to look it up too because I forgot, because
Okay.
I thought that Captain Battelle was captain of the Farragut and not the Cayuga, because in the preview for the next episode, the Cayuga is definitely in danger, and I definitely think Battelle's gonna die and Pike's gonna have like a whole existential crisis.
Ah,
But I had a moment of, oh my god, is this gonna be the destruction of the Farragut in this next episode? But then I remembered it was already been destroyed. Yada yada yada.
mhm. Yeah.
Um, this is a Moby Dick, another Moby Dick style
Another.
episode,
Mhm.
because Kirk has a lot of like survivor's guilt about surviving the Farragut and wondering, what if I had acted differently? What could I have done differently if I had not hesitated for 2 seconds and I could have saved everybody? And he's got a lot of survivor's guilt. And one of the guys, an ensign on his ship, his dad was the captain of the Farragut, Lieutenant Garovic, I think his
Garovic,
name
yes.
is.
Garovic.
And so when they first encounter the cloud, he freezes and doesn't shoot on it, and he also is suffering the same survivor's guilt of like, oh my god, I could have done something totally different. And Kirk is like, you go to your quarters, I'm so mad at you. But then over the course of the episode, and kind of reconciling with his own thoughts, coming to the conclusion of, there was nothing any of us could have done. He acted the same way I acted. Nobody's at fault here. In fact, at the end of the episode, I have goosebumps just even talking about it. Emotional stuff gets me really hyped. At the end of the episode, he's like, why don't you come with me to my room or whatever? I want to tell you some stories about your dad. And I'm like, oh my god, that's like that's some growth right there, and everybody's coming to terms and acceptance with what happened.
I guess maybe the disconnect I'm having is the fact that young Kirk wasn't smart enough to realize that shooting a light beam into a cloud was not going to affect it.
I mean, hey, but also they try it again on the ship, right?
Yeah.
Like because
And
they're
and that
chasing the ship,
that
or
also
they're chasing the
bothers me that we
cloud.
try it again, even though we know we're shooting a light beam through a cloud. It's not going to do anything.
But also, like, listen, when you're in an emotionally heightened state and you are obsessed with, chasing this white whale and seeking revenge, essentially, or trying to find some kind of closure for this thing, I don't blame him for trying to shoot a laser at it, because, like, what else are you gonna do, right? Like, look at it weird and hope you intimidate it enough that it dissipates. But this episode, combined with the previous episode, Kirk's commandeering abilities are questioned, because previously he was just old, and in this one he's a little too obsessed and not quite thinking clearly, and he's mad at his crew. This span of episodes, Kirk gets mad at his crew a lot, and I don't like it.
Well,
It's,
your telemetry was off, mister, or whatever.
maybe it's because I just love Captain Pike so much, and he's just such a cool captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kirk is just so mad at his crew all the
Certainly two
time.
different styles. Yeah, well, okay, you're
Yeah.
talking me out of not liking this episode. You're making some excellent points.
Yeah, initially I was like, whatever. Howdy doody, just a lot of brooding happening. But
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's my time spent watching shows on the CW that I was like, yeah, okay, I do actually kind of like a brooding scenario. But
Okay.
McCoy also has a line in this episode that's so chef's kiss, because people are dying. People are dying on Kirk's watch because of this, and McCoy says, one man has a chance for survival, the other is dead. You can add that little price tag to your monster hunt. And Kirk says that's enough. And McCoy says it's not enough. You didn't care what happened as long as you could hang the trophy on the wall. And it's not on it, Captain, it's in it, because the cloud is now in the ship. And I love it when McCoy is like, no, you're being bad and you should know that.
Boy, now see, now I hear this. I hear you read these lines of dialogue back, and I love McCoy. I love DeForest Kelley, but this kind of shows me his limitations as an actor. Because you saying those lines, and I'm hearing them in J.J. Abrams McCoy. I'm hearing them in I can't
Carl
think of his
Urban.
name. Carl Urban. I'm hearing Carl Urban deliver these lines, and he would have given them the heft that they deserved. Where McCoy just kind of spat them out and on to the next scene.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so. And again, I'm speaking heresy of this thing that I love so much, but maybe this speaks to the limitations of DeForest Kelley's acting, because those are some great lines, and they never resonated with me until you read them to me just now, and I'm like, oh no, that is good.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the delivery was bad. He was too busy spitting them out so that they could set up for the next scene.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. I love DeForest Kelley as McCoy, but I think you're right. I think he does have some limitations in his delivery and performance.
Carl Urban would have taken those words and just with those words, put them right through Chris Pine's chest. It just like a knife. He would have just thrown him right at it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I agree. If we can get Carl Urban to just do a line reading for us,
I do like them as my bridge crew. I do, the JJ crew. I have to admit.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, I can't wait for you to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Mutant Mayhem. You'll understand why later.
All right, I'm dying. Okay.
So my notes towards the end of this episode, I'm like, man, I surprisingly really liked this episode. It's much more emotion based. It's I think it really resonated with me too. I really love a story that tells you to face your fears. There's a Carrie Fisher quote that I reference all the time: "Stay afraid, but do it anyway." And this, it got. The emotional point where Kirk is like, Lieutenant Garavik, I want you to come down with me to the planet. We're going to do this together. Like, it's just so emotional.
You've walked me away from the I hate it ledge on this episode.
Watch it again from a more like psychological standpoint, as two men struggling with survivor's guilt and trying to face their fears and come to a rational understanding and conclusion of their actions. I think you might appreciate it more. McCoy also has a line at the end where they're trying to get them to energize back onto the ship because the antimatter, what a crazy concept, because if the antimatter, if it detonates while they're also trying to energize back on the ship, we might lose them forever. And McCoy says something like, crazy way to travel, spreading a man's molecules across the universe.
It's one of the more establishing McCoy hates being beamed anywhere things.
Interesting.
Which shows up later in some of the episodes, and especially in Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Interesting. I've never really considered that.
Yeah,
that he hates it.
He has a fear of beaming anywhere. He doesn't like the idea of it at all. So anytime you see him on the transportation pad, know that he's
Having a
secretly
hard one.
inside
Yeah.
having a difficult time. And in Star Trek: The Motion Picture, there was some dialogue that was cut out. Well, they have a transporter accident in the motion picture, and it's really kind of gruesome because it's their new. I'm giving this away, but I know you probably aren't even going to
Eh.
bother seeing it.
Well,
It's
I don't know, man. I was looking up what do I watch after this? I'm like, I guess I have to watch Star Trek the Animated Series. But anyway, whatever.
Anyway.
I'm gonna watch it all, Carrie.
But they have a transporter accident, and a person gets dissolved, and the line from the speaker from Starfleet on Earth is, "Yeah, we got them back. What we got back didn't live long, thankfully." You know, and then it's like, get the transporter fixed, and then it's there is someone here who's refusing to get on the transporter pad. Oh, let me see if I can talk him into it, says Kirk. And then they beam up, and it's McCoy. And the first thing he does once he appears and, is solid, he goes, "Oh, thank God."
Oh, honestly, I feel like I would be like McCoy. I don't know that I would trust just being beamed places.
I wouldn't. I mean, we've already seen on the show how many accidents there are.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, if you think about, I've got the book here somewhere. It's how the Starship Enterprise works, and it's all based in science. I mean, theoretically, this shit could happen,
Yeah.
and it's the breaking down and reassembling of molecules, and yeah, that doesn't sound safe to me for human transport. I'm a shuttlecraft guy. I will.
You know what? Especially to relate some of my own like vulnerability here. Like I've been facing a lot of like feeling scared all the time because lost my house in a fire, and so I'm like constantly is just like afraid. And
Oh,
I
I
have to
totally.
like keep
Yeah.
reminding myself, and I do this when I fly too, because I hate flying. I just remind myself, think of all the times planes don't crash, and think of all the times your house isn't on fire. It's most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be fine. And I think I would have that same kind of like pep talk with myself, like, hey, think about all the times people energize and all the time,
I mean, they
and no
use it all the
accidents happen.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and accidents are rare, right? So it'll be fine. Ugh.
All right.
But speaking of things that feed on fear, Wolf in the Fold. Oh
Look
wait,
at
no,
you
hold
with
on.
the segue.
Well, yeah, I know. Which I'm so mad because I have totally skipped trivia for the past 2 episodes. I've just been so excited to talk about them. The fun trivia fact for Obsession. I only have this one. The episode establishes the fact that Vulcan blood is copper based, unlike human blood, which is iron based, which kind of cool.
Which is
and
why it's
then-
green, I guess.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
quickly going back to the deadly years, having been born on July 16th, 1882, Felix Locher, who played Robert Johnson, is the earliest born actor to appear in any Star Trek episode or film at age 85 years. Crazy. And then also William Shatner resisted looking too old as Captain Kirk age, which is why at first the aging Kirk's hairline is receding, but later his hair is way more full. Okay, just get that out of the way. Wolf in the Fold. Kirk and the Enterprise computer become detectives after Scotty is accused of murdering women on a pleasure planet. This episode. A lot of lines that I wrote down because just every line was kind of a gem.
Oh yeah, it's the misogyny planet.
It's
the women aren't people planet.
Just three. So the episode opens just 3 friends at a strip club, and they have. My first note is, oh boy, this episode is gonna be horny, isn't it? And there's a woman dancing. Unrelated. I have a birthday party I'm going to on Saturday, and I need an outfit that is actually exactly like what this woman is wearing.
Oh.
I need a.
People are gonna say, "Are you I Dream of Jeannie?"
The theme is Disco Barbie, and so I was like, this is the type of outfit that I am looking for desperately. And this woman's dancing, and McCoy and Kirk and Scotty are all at the table, and Kirk asking Scotty, do you like her? Scotty like, yeah, I like her. And Kirk is like, well, don't worry, I've arranged for her to come sit at our table afterwards. And he's always
You're
like, yeah, that's what I
good
like
to
about
me,
you.
Captain.
You're always thinking of your men. And I'm like, yeah, thinking of my men. Insane.
And
She comes over and they
yeah,
offer her a pillow. Can we please have one of our pillows? Just an insane invitation, I think.
and then you get to see Montgomery Scott's moves.
Oh,
You
God.
you get to see how he does things. The charming Scotsman,
And so
talking about it's a
the
lovely night for a walk out on the out in the fog.
before I even knew what was going to happen in this episode, because I had no idea what was going to happen in this episode. When he is talking to her, there's nothing like a walk in the fog, and I was like, yeah, that's what a murderer says.
Oh, the lochs in Scotland. It's just like this is what the weather is all the time, lassie. A beautiful lass like yourself will look great
Come
out there in the fog. I won't
walk with
murder you.
me, a stranger, by yourself in the
I
fog.
just met you.
My alarm system was like whoop 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 whoop.
Well, but see the people on this planet though, they don't think like that. Because
Yeah.
it's a hedonistic society. It's like,
And
whatever
McCoy
goes.
sounded mad about that. Did you notice that? McCoy's like, it's a purely hedonistic planet.
Oh, that was an excitement from him? Again,
I
DeForest
he
Kelly's
sounded annoyed.
acting.
He sounded annoyed to me. But what's so funny is Kirk is like, hey, Kurt McCoy, do you want to get out of here? I know a place across town. And McCoy interrupts. Yes, I know the exact place. And they start to leave.
These boys have been here before.
These horny boys.
The line is, it says, McCoy, I know a place across town where the women are. And that's when McCoy jumps in.
And Kirk
Yes.
says this multiple times. He says, I know
Yes.
a place where the women are, ... And nobody finishes the sentence. And I'm
No.
like, tell me more. What are the women, Kirk? Are they beautiful? Are
Incredibly intelligent and fun to talk to. Right over
they
here.
are they half cat? Like, finish the sentence. I gotta know.
I want to hear him say where the women are half cat. I want to hear that sentence now.
I need to know specifically what you're into, Kirk.
Yes.
But they go out and then hear a woman scream, and we see our friend who was just dancing. She's died, and Scotty's against a wall with a knife, and I'm like,
Holding
Scotty,
a bloody
no.
knife. Yeah.
And then they wrangle him. He doesn't have any memory of what's happening.
I
And
don't remember.
they leave him alone for 2 seconds again, and he kills another woman. Like, Scotty, no, not again. Half
And
of
he-
my notes are just,
Yeah.
Scotty, not again.
And he can't remember.
Ugh. And
it's-
McCoy's
and-
diagnosis of the second dead woman. She's dead, just like the other one.
That's our doctor.
Oh my god.
We're laughing about the dead women. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Sorry,
then
don't mean to.
they try a séance with I don't know if he's the mayor or the president.
He's like
I don't
the
know.
mayor of Pleasure Town, and his wife is like an ancient descendant of the people of
Psychics.
this planet, of psychics. And
Yeah.
so they do a seance, and she's listing off all these names, and Redjick is one of them. And Scotty, the lights go down and they come back up, and she's dead, and it is very obvious Scotty has been like holding the knife in her
He's
back.
holding her and the knife,
And we're like, Scotty, again? What are you doing, my friend? And
And
he
see,
has
that's-
no memory.
That's where the episode should have ended. They should have said, I'm sorry. It's obvious that you're a murderer, and we'll get us a new engineer. And good luck. We leave you here in the hold of the authorities locally because this is their laws and their rules. And see ya.
Well, even Spock is like, hey, we should just beam him back on the ship and go, okay? And Kirk, very Starfleet of him, is like, no, we are on this planet and we have to adhere to their rules and laws. So we kind of got to go through with this. But they do manage to convince them, like, hey, let's go to our ship where we have like truth-telling machines, and they can, like, we can suss this out. And they, get to the ship, and the ship is like, yeah, he's telling the relatively subjective truth
He
about
doesn't remember. Yeah.
yeah. And the big conclusion of this is I hate this.
Hmm.
The ghost, the energy, the spirit of Jack the Ripper has been traveling through the universe just killing women because it can. And it's like this energy that feeds on death. And Spock has this great line about how we all feed on death, even vegetarians. So suck on that, vegetarians.
Boom.
And they ask the ship, like, hey, can you list off a bunch of like serial murders of women? And it lists like four references to murdered women. And I'm like, hey, there's a lot more than that. I can guarantee it.
When they said that, I was like, oh God, we're going to be here for days.
I was like, wow, we haven't even trust me, I could list off just 100. Well, I couldn't, but there's
My
a lot
wife
more
could.
than this. But then the ghost of Jack the Ripper goes into the ship, and I'm like, oh, the ship is gonna start killing women then. And Kirk gets on the intercom and is like, hey everybody, stay at your posts and remain calm, and no other information. And I just know if I was working on the Enterprise and my captain just came on and said, hey everybody, just be calm and no further information, I would not be calm. I would like to know more, please.
Because the ghost of Jack the Ripper feeds on fear, and so it gets stronger the more afraid you are. So yeah, a little more explanation would have been helpful. It would
be helpful because I'm afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
So if if I don't know what's happening,
If you would have
I'm gonna
said
be
there's
freaked out.
an entity that has taken control of the ship. Now calm down, because it feeds on fear. So I need you to put your
Totes.
poker faces on. All right, just channel your inner Vulcan, and let's go with this. Okay.
But the problem gets solved by injecting everybody with THC, I assume.
I don't know, but that's McCoy's answer for everything. Give you a hypo.
And I loved to see big, brave, stoned Sulu. I thought he was great. And then everybody else at the end just kind of high for a bit.
Oh, now, Jim, I already injected myself. I made a mint julep in my quarters. I got my southern accent back again. How about that?
I haven't mentioned this previously, I don't think, but for most of Star Trek, James Doohan, who plays Scotty, hides his right hand because he's missing a middle finger due to a World War II D-Day injury. And so while he's being questioned with his hand resting on the lie detector scanner, his fingers are hidden by being curled around the edge of the plate, which I did think, I was like, oh, why is he doing that? Oh, right, his finger. And then during a close-up shot of the machine, a 5-digit hand was a stunt double. But James Doohan later wrote in his autobiography that this was one of his favorite episodes. And this as well as what happens in the next episode is what makes me really come around on Scotty.
These two are Scotty episodes, yeah.
Yeah, and I like him.
Now here's the thing about James Doohan, who played Scotty. If you read his autobiography, you find out why he never took shit from Shatner.
Oh, really?
That dude had done it all by the time he was an actor on Star Trek. He's
a World War II D-Day veteran.
That's just touching on the stuff. I mean, he has stomped on the Terra. He wasn't afraid of anybody. And if you were going to get into a fight, you'd want James Doohan to have your back. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that's why he never put up with shit from Shatner, where, poor Sulu and poor Chekhov, they took nothing but. But
there's the other piece of trivia I have for this particular episode. This episode was made around the time that Leonard Nimoy earned an Emmy nomination for his portrayal of Spock, and William Shatner has admitted that this put his nose out of joint considerably, leading to tensions between the two actors. So this episode was a conscious effort on the part of the writers to sideline Nimoy and give Shatner center stage. But then after the series finished, they reconciled and they were BFFs. But yeah.
But the ghost of Jack the Ripper somehow takes over the dead body of the guy who is the voice of Piglet on Winnie the Pooh.
Oh okay, I have been looking at this guy and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
why does this guy look familiar? Why does he sound familiar? Who is this man? And you have
It's
just cleared it up for me.
it's Piglet from Winnie the Pooh. Oh, did it here?
Ooh. The
Yeah,
manager of the Pleasure Planet.
the lawyer or whatever he is. Uh,
Yeah.
so then okay, well now he was dead, but he's back. He's taken over by the ghost of Jack the
Mhm.
Ripper, and their answer is to get him on the transporter pad. Again, McCoy's fear of transporter pads. Wide dispersal in space. So
Mhm.
he's just molecules spread out everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay, well, if that guy had still been alive but then possessed, would they have done the same thing?
Mm.
I think they would have. I think that Piglet would have been gone
There's a
regardless.
lot of because thinking about that episode where the cloud takes over the woman's body for James Cochran or for Cochran,
Except from Cochrane, yeah.
they're doing, yeah, maybe, okay, maybe they're like, once a body's died, you can do whatever you want with it. And maybe that's like a Starfleet regulation.
I,
If the body has died already, have that.
I don't know. Look,
Which would be interesting to see with 1,000 dead Tribbles. Leading to the trouble with Tribbles. To protect a space station with a vital grain shipment, Kirk must deal with the Federation bureaucrats, a Klingon battlecruiser, and a peddler who sells furry, purring, hungry little creatures as pets.
hmm
And you happen to have one.
this is actually my dog's Tribble. This has a mechanism. You see how much she's chewed
Uh-huh.
on it there?
Uh-huh.
It has a mechanism inside of it. If you replace the battery, that if they move the Tribble, it will vibrate and go. And the battery died, and I think it may be broken because this toy. Ripley loves this toy. This is
Aww.
her favorite toy. And when I picked it up to come in here to be with you,
Was
it
she
was just
mad?
like, what are you doing? I've
That's
not
my
touched
toy.
that toy for months, but it's mine, damn it, and I want it now.
What are you doing with that? Papa, what are you doing with that?
What are you doing?
The Trouble with Tribbles, an episode I have actually seen at a Geek Show event.
Really?
I was there whenever you guys showed this episode at
Hmm.
Broovies.
I don't remember us showing Star Trek episodes at Proovies. I'm glad we did that.
Yeah, it was
We should do it again, actually.
I wish I could remember what the event was, but it was the Trouble with Tribbles at Broovies, and I was front row at Broovies and sitting next to some unpleasant people. But
Well, yeah, it's par for the course. What we should do,
we love you, Geek Show fans.
we love you, but what we should do one of these times, and I'm not saying this is what we're going to do next. I'm saying think about it. We show Trouble with Tribbles, and then the Deep Space Nine sequel episode to it, back to back.
Oh. Is there also an animated series episode that
There
features
was
Tribbles?
a Tribbles animated series episode. And those are only a half hour, as I recall.
But it would be fun to show. You know what? I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you did do a Tribble double feature.
Did we? Did we do this already? Okay,
I
'cause
think so.
it's such a great idea.
Get
We
in
could
the
do it
comments.
twice.
Yeah, get in the comments. Let us know. Have
Yeah.
they done that? Because I remember watching the original series one, but it would seem weird to me if you only showed the one episode.
I don't
Anyway.
recall. We've been doing the show
Well,
for 15 years, so I don't know.
who even knows? But it's okay. We'll multiply them like the Tribbles multiply.
hmm
Which McCoy calls them bisexual and they reproduce at will. And I don't think that's how bisexuality works.
No, I think he was looking for a different term. Yeah, but he is just an old country doctor, so.
He is just an old country doctor. I love the Tribbles, but I also love small furry things and Tribble trilling. I think it's Uhura who says like, "Oh, it makes me feel happy" or something like that. But that's how cat purr. That's why you should get a cat because
Exactly.
cat purrs are good for your heart and mental health. People. I like that the Tribbles are like gremlins. If you feed them, they'll just start multiplying. the Tribble salesman Cyrano Jones. He's right up there with Harry Mudd for me.
Oh, can I
in
interest
that-
you in a tribble? Oh.
They should, you know what they should have done? They should have just brought Harry Mudd back, and now this is Harry
Yes.
Mudd's new enterprise.
Actually, no, that would have set up red flags for Kirk. He wouldn't have, yeah, it wouldn't have progressed. He would have shut it down quicker if it was Harry Mudd, because
Oh,
He's had
interesting.
dealings
I
with
wonder
Harry.
if they tried that. And so they were like, Cyrano Jones, a Harry Mudd type.
Because I don't think Kirk meets Cyrano until the end, after the Tribbles have taken over. I could be wrong.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think it's until towards the end, because first he meets Uhura and Chekhov, who are there on shore leave. And
Mhm.
Uhura's like, I want one. And there's the whole bit between Cyrano Jones and the bartender of trying to like haggle over the price of a Tribble.
And thank goodness that they let these character actors have a moment, you know? let them have their moment and some lines and some character, you know, let them do it. It was amusing.
When I was watching this, thinking about it in the turn, having now seen a bunch of the original series episodes, thinking about it, watching it at Broovies for the first time, having no context, what an unusual episode, because there's so much that's not really centered upon, because like Uhura and Chekhov are talking with the bartender and Cyrano Jones for like 10 minutes. And it's such an unusual, and then there's the scene where Scotty and the crew go on shore leave to the bar and start a whole bar fight, and I haven't seen anything like that in previous episodes.
And again, great for the people who made this episode, letting these actors have these moments. There's that Klingon commander where he goes back and forth with Scotty about, the Enterprise is a garbage scow, and that's what sets Scotty off. Is
Well, what's so funny is the Klingon is like, Kirk, your captain, that guy sucks, and Scotty's like, what are you gonna do?
He's just,
But then he's like, and your Enterprise is trash. He's like, what did you say about the Enterprise? You can talk trash about my crew all day, but don't you dare say one bad word about the Enterprise. I'll kill you.
it was great. It was the Enterprise is a garbage scow, the Klingon says, and Scotty says, I'll give you a second chance to rephrase that. And he goes, and the Klingon imitates his accent, which I'm like, good for you, character actor. Good for you. You're right. I didn't mean it was a garbage scow. I mean it should be hauled away as garbage, and that's what sets Scotty.
I'll kill you. And they set up the whole bar fight, and and Cyrano Jones just watching. Side story: when I lived in New York, I was at a piano bar with a couple of friends, and a fight broke out. And New York, it's tiny. This place is just a hallway, and a fight broke out. And so a lot of us are like trying to move out of the way so this fight can get out of our way. But my friend, full fur coat, pulls a Cyrano Jones, pours his drink, and is just like, interesting. But then, Kirk is interrogating the crew like, okay, who started this fight? And the crew is like, no narcs. I respect a team that has no narcs. And they're like, we don't know who started the fight. And then he's talking to Scotty, and Scotty's like, I threw the first punch. I'm so sorry. And Kirk is like, well, why? And he's like, he called the Enterprise a garbage scow. And Kirk's like, okay. Okay. Go to your quarters. It's fine.
This whole episode, I love it. I just love this whole episode. There is nothing wrong with this episode.
The biggest takeaway from this episode: trust dogs, because when a dog doesn't like somebody, Tribbles also, when they don't like somebody, they're a bad guy. But if your dog doesn't like somebody, listen to
this information. Trust this information, because the dog has always been right from day one. Even though you hired a Tribble trainer to teach this Tribble to treat this person correctly, and the Tribble still does not treat this person correctly, listen to the Tribble. I speak from experience. Anyway.
If your dog doesn't like somebody, there's
trust
a reason.
There is a reason. Go ahead.
Oh, no, what were we going to say?
I was just going to say there are several Klingons in this episode, many Klingons.
Yes.
And this is the return of your old friend Trelane.
Oh.
As the Klingon.
Huh.
And see,
Interesting.
this is Captain Koloth, and he's one of the more popular Klingons. And if you look closely at the action figures, you can see, because there's Trelane's head.
Uh-huh.
It's a simple change of sculpt to make Captain Koloth. So I've got action figures of the same actor in 2 different characters.
Oh my God. Interesting.
And
Okay.
it's I keep
Hmm.
forgetting the actor's name, but he's such a great Klingon because he's playing it over the top, but he's essentially
Yeah.
playing it like he's Trelane. But
What if headcanon, what if that Klingon was just a Q trying to stir up some trouble?
stirring up some
Some triple
mischief, are
trouble.
you?
Um,
But Koloth will be back in Deep Space Nine, the same actor.
Tribble episode?
Not no. Well,
Oh.
yes, technically. I wish I could tell you about the Deep Space Nine Tribble episode. No, Koloth and those other Klingons I told you about, they come back as old Klingons in Deep Space Nine.
Oh shit. Okay.
So you get Kor, you get Koloth, and you get Kang, the original actors coming back as old Klingons in Deep Space Nine because they're old friends of Curzon Dax. Anyway, you'll learn as you go along.
Yeah.
But yeah, Koloth is and it's I can't remember the actor's name, but he's so playing it for comedy, you know.
Yeah, like flamboyant.
I'm a bad guy. Yes, I am a bad guy. You know.
I do love it when the actors just lean into it. Whether or not they know the show is not a comedy. I love it when they do. Also, very funny, the people behind Star Trek not wanting to make more comedy episodes, and yet here we are making more comedy episodes.
And, you know, I mean, that just shows the potential. It just shows what the problem with the show was from the beginning was it took itself too seriously. If these people are working together, it's like an office. You're going to be making jokes. You're going to be making little jests and laughing and, you know, you're going to be commiserating about paperwork, things like that. And that's what Star Trek was lacking for the longest time. Finally, it found its humor. But,
Yeah, Strange New Worlds represent.
Indeed.
Some bits of trivia regarding this episode. The scene in which Kirk is buried in an avalanche of Tribbles took 8 takes to get right. The Tribbles were thrown into the hatch by members of the production crew. The crew members were not sure when to stop because they couldn't see the scene. This is why additional Tribbles kept falling on Kirk one by one. And William Shatner can be seen looking perplexed as to why more Tribbles just keep falling. The noises that the Tribbles make were a combination of dove coos, screech owl cries, and air escaping from balloons. During the famous bar fight, careful observers will note that while tables are broken, all of the chairs remain intact because the tables were studio property, but the chairs were rented. And so if they were damaged, they had to be paid for.
I love that. Oh, I love that.
And then Shatner recalled the great enjoyment all the cast had while filming this episode. He noted the trouble we had with Tribbles was to keep your straight face. It was just a lot of fun. And I agree, a lot of fun.
And that's where we get the character Darwin, who turns out to be a surgically altered Klingon, which, because they look an awful lot like humans just with the goatees.
But I mean, they're so picky and choosy because if you think back to the Friday's Child episode, they had the Klingon that was just a guy. So I thought this one was also just a guy.
But the Tribbles, the Tribbles don't like Klingons, and they squeal whenever Klingon's near. And I love that's how Kirk figures out that Darwin is a Klingon because the Tribble goes. Ee!
Also, is it I don't want to call it a war crime, but is it a war crime to just transport all these Tribbles onto the Klingon ship? Because that's how they get rid of them. Oh my God, that was it. I was like, yeah, Scotty, you got it, my man.
Oh, but you know the Klingons just pulled out their disruptors and just started.
Just lit them
all
on
that's
fire.
what happened. Yeah. Or flamethrower or something stupid like that. So, yeah, I kind of felt bad if I thought about it too much. If I just left it at the joke where Scotty said, where there be no Tribble at all, and then the wacky music, funny, and...
Laughing, roll the credits.
Roll the credits. Don't think about what the Klingons were doing to the Tribbles. Just enjoy your laugh. It's,
Well, that will do it for this week's episode of the... you so much again for joining us, and tune in next time where we will continue to go where no man has gone before, but a lot of men have gone before. No Tribble at all. Thank you so much.